Alright, so Santa was pretty good to me this year. This is a, hard to tell. It's a little dark down here, but it's a Century Pneumatic by Harbor Freight. It's a 29-gallon, 150 psi, dual piston, 2 horsepower motor compressor. I got it on sale at Harbor Freight, and this is just, I've never plugged it in yet. It's brand new, just out of the box. And the only thing you have to do is put the wheels on. You got to put the handle in. There's a little rubber feet. So the fluid's already filled, which is weird. Usually they come empty. I don't know why it came full. But one of the first things I do with any equipment that's made in China, you gotta check some of the nuts and bolts. And in the manual they tell you to retorque the head bolts to 27 Nm, Newton measure, which equals like 20 foot-pounds. So I'm going to show you, we're going to torque the head bolts just to make sure they're nice and tight, snugged up. And I'm going to drain the oil out. For whatever reason, I don't like the oil that comes from China in these things. So before I even run it, I'm going to fill it up with some name brand oil. I'm going to drain that and fill it. And torque the head bolts. And it also says on these, as per the manual, you're supposed to run it for 10 minutes with 10 minutes straight to break in the pump. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to run it for 10 minutes, break in the pump. And then I'm going to change the oil again and check the head bolts again on the pump itself. So let's go ahead and this will be a review. I'll show you how quick it fills up with air after it's broken in, just so we get a good basis reading. And I think it was $3.49 when it was on sale. And you can't use the 20% off coupon on it, as per the coupon, not to be used with compressors, etc. So alright, let's check the head bolts, and we'll fire it up, see what happens. Alright, I'm all set up here with my old school Craftsman bar torque wrench. We're going to set it to 20. Which they are actually a little loose. And use a cross pattern. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good now. That was good. That was good. Alright, we're going to go around one more time. And the manual states to do this right out of the box. So I guess shows quality reassurance at the factory. Okay. They're all torqued back down to 20 foot-pounds. And this one has a pretty cool aftercooler on it too. Alright, now let's drain the oil and fill it with some quality stuff. Alright, for this you can see I propped up the front of the compressor to put it at an angle. Because I don't know if you can see it, but right underneath this sight glass down here, that's the drain bolt for the crank, for the pump crankcase. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen that. Oh man, they put that on there pretty tight. I'm going to get my bucket here ready, and we're going to start draining it. Alright, we got the oil draining in my little coffee can thing here, and we're going to drain all the oil out. Alright, so we got the oil all drained out. I'm kind of glad I drained it even before I even ran it. I don't know if they test run these at the factory, but there was still some metal shavings in the oil before I even got to use it. So I'd recommend draining these before you even use it for the first time, before you break the pump in, because there was like little slivers of metal and some, you know, real minute metal shavings in there. Like the oil was sparkling when it was coming out. So anyway, let's fill her up. Alright, we got our crank plug back in. Oil's filled up back to the red dot. So you're supposed to run it wide open. So I'm gonna have to put my I'm gonna have to open the drain at the bottom, and I'm gonna put my air duster with a zip tie on the nipple. The nipple, this nipple actually already came on it, the quick disconnect, so you don't even have to buy one to put on it. So let's set up my duster, and we'll plug it in and see what it sounds like. I think it's rated around 84, 86 decibels, so we'll see how loud it is too. Alright, so we got my duster in there zip tied. I have the vent, the drain at the bottom of the tank open. Got the plug over here, currently in the off position. And now we're going to plug it in here. All plugged in, let's turn it on. It's actually pretty quiet. Let it run for 10 minutes and see what happens. Still cold. Good thing. 10 minutes are about up. It's still pretty cool. Go ahead and shut it down. Now it says after the first 100 hours you're supposed to change it, but I'm probably going to run it one more time for 10 minutes when she cools down and change the oil again. Just to be sure. It runs 10 minutes and it's barely warm. Pretty good. Pretty good.